Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Final Fantasy XII 100% guide. We have just entered the Viera village, and we're on the hunt for a Viera Mine, who is supposed to help Fran with something. Now, there's going to be a bit of a cutscene, but I will definitely be finding a very particular treasure chest in this area, because it contains quite a powerful spell. So we'll be really looking forward to that. And as I say, hopefully we'll be able to find our way to getting past the forest's magical barrier.
Hey, Mjern lives here, doesn't she? We're here to see her.
You will leave at once. It is not allowed for humans to walk on these grounds.
We'll go as soon as we've seen Mjern.
If you can find her.
We're not leaving until you let us see her. Fine then. We'll look for her ourselves.
Ah.
I've heard the voice of the wood. She says Mjern is not in the village. Jote, where has she gone?
Why do you ask? The wood tells us where she has gone. Or can you not hear her? You cannot. Your ears are dull from hearing their harsh speech, I think. Viera who have abandoned the wood are Viera no longer. Mjern too has left her embrace.
And you forsake them in turn?
It is the will of the village. Viera must live always with the wood. So is the green word, and so is our law.
We'll let you worry about keeping your laws. Just do us a favor and stay out of our way. We'll find her ourselves.
Our sister has left the wood and gone west. She wanders warrens among men who hide themselves in clothes of cold iron. Thus to me has the wood spoken.
The Viera may begin as part of the wood, but the wood is not the only end we may choose.
The same words I heard 50 years ago.
So, Mjern has gone missing. Fran is slightly ostracized. But if we go to this particular treasure chest over here, we get the haste spell. Absolutely it's amazing. We're going to adjust a a gambit in order to allow ourselves to have a ally any with haste. It really is quite a useful ability to have on your character, and even if it's the case that you just have the party leader hasted, then you know that can also be a very, very good one to have on your side. Haste and protect, always useful to have. But now, as it happens, we are going to need to find our way into the Henne Mines. And in order to do that, we're going to have to go back out of the Viera village, out past the Golomor jungle, and then on leaving there, there's actually a wounded Imperial, And we're going to need to offer him a potion. And then when we do, we're able to freely purchase a chocobo. Because there's basically hidden paths in the map that only chocobos can travel through. And can give us unique, I suppose, pathways for us to get by. So we'll have to backtrack a little bit. But it'll all be worth it in the grand scheme.
Not bad, Vaughn. Didn't think we'd get any information out of that one. So then, what was she saying about men in a warren?
The Henne Mines. Maybe that's what she meant. They lie in Bangkor, south of the Osmoan Plain. The entire region is a colony of the Arcadian Empire. There would be soldiers.
Is that a problem? Let's move.
Fran,
Yes?
I was wondering what Yote said, you know? About how you said the same thing 50 years ago?
Your point?
How old were you again?
Nice fun.
Surprisingly rude.
Try to grow up, please.
Vaughn, ever the wordsmith, ever the ladies' man, you know, managing to insult Fran at her lowest when she's literally been told, you're not part of us. You like left the wood, so you can leave our presence too. And now apparently her sister is missing, and so we're going to have to try find them. As you can see though, Bosch with his new armor that we got from the village has auto protect, which is always very nice. And we're now getting haste on all of our characters, which is going to be costly on Penella's MP. So there is potentially a situation where maybe it should just be the party leader is hasted and protected. Or, you know, when we get to more powerful versions of the spells, there can be versions of the spells that allow for the characters to be an AoE, like instead of a cure, it's like Protectra, where it's like an AoE Cura effect where everyone gets Protect, and at least that's just kind of one casting and it's done like 4 different times, you know? But as you can see, these 2 little exclamation points, these are actually barriers that the forest is putting up, basically not letting us progress further down and further south so we can actually reach Mount Baromises. The idea then is that we're kind of straddled into a linear path. I'll be having to backtrack, go to the Henne Mines, which is kind of a side area in a way. Now these enemies are actually, you know, the hellhounds are quite dangerous, so you want to make sure you're avoiding damage, you want to make sure that your white mage has the MP necessary. And once we get through all this, I'd say maybe just put them on for a boss battle. That can be a good one. As I say, the hellhounds were one thing, but like the other enemies are really not the strongest, surprisingly. But they do offer good XP for this time of the game. And lovely coral pelts, which sell for a good amount. Jack, just make your way out. And we'll be able to hop on a chocobo and find another new area. And it's the Henne Mines that are actually the spot for level grinding. Now I'm not going to level grind in this particular episode, but if you would like me to adjust the oh yeah, sorry, this is what's really important. We give him a potion. He thanks us. And then because we've saved his comrade's life, he lets us borrow the chocobo. And he basically tells us that they fled from the Henne Mines. There's something crazy going on there. Crazy and dangerous. So, yeah. We're going to basically now take our time to borrow the chocobo and make our way down. So, if you notice what I just walked right by, there was little chocobo feet, and I just misunderstood that was where we had to kind of go. So that was my bad. I just misremembered. But what will happen is that if we go the way of the chocobo feet, we actually end up on that other cliff area that has the entrance to the Henne Mines. So we actually come out at a completely different area. And so it's at this point that I realised, no, I've gone the wrong way. I was misremembering, thinking, oh, do I have to like sprint and then will the chocobo jump across the ravine or something? It was just a poor memory situation, unfortunately. But if you go back to just outside the Golemore jungle, we should see the chocobo feet in the dirt. And just follow that in that direction, and we'll be able to make our way through this vegetation and arrive outside the Henne Mines. And unfortunately, the Henne Mines are, you know, not that inviting. There does be corpses. So those earlier Imperial soldiers were lucky to actually escape with their lives. These were not so lucky, unfortunately.
Researchers from the Draclaw laboratory. What were they doing here?
Research.
So yeah, these poor researchers were basically sent to their death. The chocobo will not go any further, and like the time with the chocobo was about to run out anyway. We only had 15 more seconds. But on dismounting, we end up finding the Henne Mines. Just like the Lushu mines before us in Bajurba, these mines have a little zone where we can fight multiple enemies. That'll give us a massive chain for loot bonuses, and is also a section where we have the potential of maxing out our levels. Obviously getting to max level 99, this is our big question mark. Do we do it as part of the playthrough? I'm honestly in two minds about it, because obviously for the endgame stuff we are going to need to be level 99. That's obvious, that's just common sense. The higher level we are, the easier these hunts will be, and quite often, you know, doing stuff on a lower level in RPGs where your stats directly input and impact the damage you deal, the damage you take, all that jazz. Like, it is just so obvious in my mind anyway, that just being a higher level makes the strategies just take less rotations. Like, if the goal is, okay, against this particular enemy, you're going to want to try and avoid its petrify attacks, so have a gambit for, you know, removing petrification, and it's weak to fire, so maybe apply oil, and then have your black mage use fire. Like, if that's the strategy where you have cures for when you're low on health and then you're just applying oil and doing fire, like, that's the strategy. So if you're on a lower level, it will just take you 10 rotations, whereas if you're on a higher level, it might only take you 5 rotations. So, to me, just getting more levels, getting more stats isn't a big negative. Especially when there are going to be some super bosses that are infamous for taking a very, 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 very long time. But on opening the blue door, we've now turned all the buttons to red because they basically alternate. It's like you can either have a door that's open to red or you have doors that are open on blue. And so to get deeper into the mine we had to have them open on blue, which closed all the red doors. And other than that, it's just a case of exploring deeper into the mine and finding our way by either locking or unlocking certain doorways.
Yeah.
We have lots of seeker bat enemies, so these aren't too bad, and we're building up a nice chain, which is good. Vano is casting Libra, although what I'm finding is that there's a lot of enemies that are just immune to Libra. It's like, oh my god. Then like, what's the point in having Libra if some enemies are just immune to Sensor, and we just have to like do our best with figuring out what buffs they have or what weaknesses they have. But heading off the minecart tracks and deeper into the side alleys, like, it's very reminiscent of the Lushu mines. Like, it's nice that there's kind of a internal logic where, you know, architecture-wise, similar, I suppose, industries would have kind of a designated layout and system. Like, you have the centralized mine track with then offshoots for electricity management or mining management, etc. Oh, avoiding traps. That okay, well listen, that's one of the reasons I suppose it's good to have on Libra. It allows you to like see traps and at least avoid them. Although there is a much more powerful and handy way with a green magic spell that basically makes it so that you float in the air and you actually don't trigger traps at all. But as you can see with that creature, we're starting to even find creatures that are similar archetypes to like bosses that we used to fight. So these nightmares, they're basically fire mains that aren't on fire, you know? And I'm sure us doing 300 damage, 600 damage, like that would have been like a big boss health bar when we were attacking way back when. And just making sure we're not getting totally lost. We see a big bomb on top of that treasure chest, so can we quietly make our way over? Dark boat isn't that great, but I mean... Oh, a mimic! This is what we have to look forward to now, guys. The treasures can be monsters. Eventually we get to the stage where there can be save crystals. And they're monsters, so yeah, it's not the best of vibes, not the best of feelings, all things considered. Pinello just being absolutely crazy good with her healing. Nice bone crusher weapon. We probably won't use it, but there's no reason we can't sell it for extra gil, you know? Nice level up for Vaughn. Absolutely brilliant. Now that he's level 32, it's like, okay, let's take off the embroidered tibbet and then bring in somebody else and try and level them that way. And I suppose for complete transparency's sake, you know, we're going to get to a certain end of an episode and I'm going to be like, or like even middle of an episode, and I'm going to sort of say, okay, I'm going to pause here for like just a moment off screen. I'm going to be doing a lot of grinding, just collecting items and gaining levels. And also for the case of like the license boards, like I'm not going to just hoard a bunch of license points and then spend time going at 2 times speed to try and like just go, okay, here's everything I like unlocked in the license board. It's like at this stage it's just HP ups, it's just passive abilities, it's just licenses for equipment that we're not going to see for another maybe 10 episodes probably. So just know that like, yeah, I'm getting the licenses and most things, whether they be remedy lores that are useful, like, you know, positive passive effects, yes. Obviously our characters are going to be developing slightly differently, but like Fran and Balthier have the most remedy lords. They're kind of support ranged attackers. You know, yes, it's good to know about those. But for the most part, I'm literally just looking, being like, what LP do I have? What can I, you know, spend for a reasonable amount of money? And like that, Bosch is going to just have all the great swords, all the battle lores, all the armors. But as I say, we're currently down towards the end of the area where, yeah, we're probably not going to find the Katkara sword or the Excalibur sword for maybe 20 episodes, 30 episodes. I don't even know where these items are or where to buy them. And then I finally find the blood sword, which I'm like, oh my god, that would have been nice to know sooner before I spent all that money, or before I spent all those license points. And then the real trick here then is I have to make the decision of, okay, in which license board, what are my plans to do what with? As in, do I want to fully max out Monk, or do I want to fully max out Knight? Like, which am I fully maxing out? No, and then like, once I've maxed one, I need to max the other, I suppose. But the licenses really don't come that much into effect until we're looking into, right, we have these particular armors now, I can equip them. But like, so much of the license board is passive. Like, it's a passive boost to your HP, which we can see now with Bosch being nearly more than triple Penello's HP. So with triple HP, with auto protect on, like, Bosch is the tank. He's fulfilling that role. That's his job, plain and simple. Whereas abilities getting for Ash, which is like Headsman, where, okay, when she KOs an enemy, she gets a bonus to MP. That's really useful. But so is also, you know, getting all the black magic spells, and now we're just waiting at every shop to be like, ah yes, I've purchased these couple of spells, we've now expanded our spell repertoire. Brilliant. Like, a part of me wonders, if I headed back to Dalmasca now, could we fight the big green dinosaur? Because we're taking down this dinosaur fairly handy. And that's one of the other things I love about this game, is that, like, they were not afraid to just throw enemies wherever they wanted to throw enemies. And if you were able to defeat them, grand, and if you weren't, it was like, okay, well, actually, that gives you a reason to come back and have a sense of accomplishment, where it's like, yeah, at the beginning of the game, or even midway through the game, I wasn't able to fight these particular enemies. But, you know, now I've come back, I feel that much stronger. I'm able to, like, take down this enemy I thought unbeatable. Yeah, the mimics are going to be a pain now. I'm going to come across them more and more because I love opening a treasure chest meat. But what's interesting is that through this other little area, we're going to come upon a very, very small little room. And this small little room has tons of flans in it. And the interesting thing about flans is, if you don't kill them quick enough, they can tend to duplicate themselves before they die, resulting in quite a few flans appearing. By quite a few, I mean a literal, like, fill your screen situation. So watch what happens when I change this to blue. All of these flans, you know, they start confusing, they start hitting, it becomes quite a mess. And really, what I should just have Penelo on is just curing all the time, because basically everyone just gets way too low health. And it's actually this area that we are capable of grinding to level 99 if we so wished. Because it all revolves around one simple spell. That is the break spell. If a time mage uses break, the flans get a countdown to when they are going to die. Because of that, when a flan is nearly going to die, it starts to cast an ability to merge itself. Now typically, if you're fighting as a warrior or something like that, even when they start to do that ability, your warrior will probably destroy them before they get a chance to duplicate. The difference with the break spell is it's a slow countdown, so it actually allows the flan to duplicate, and therefore if you're only killing them with the break spell, they'll keep on respawning and then be limitlessly in the area. And then, you know, you can just grind infinitely. But we don't do that today. Basically, that's been our episode for today, though. We're going to continue our exploration and start into a big boss then, to finish out the Henne Mines. But until then, until next episode, I've been the RPG Recusant. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the series as we continue on towards 100%. Leave a comment on which character of the full 6 members, like we have all the characters now at the moment, they've all kind of been fulfilling their particular niche roles. What character is your favourite for their particular niche role in the party? I have to say I have a soft spot for Bosch. I like a character that I feel like I can make the leader and will just tank through everything. I know obviously I should say the White Mage. I do love White Mages. Penelo is close second. But I always feel more happier when my White Mage has someone to heal and keep alive, and that person she's trying to keep alive, or he's trying to keep alive, is a functional tank that I know can weather the storm, you know? But yeah, that's my answer. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback in the comments. And until the next episode, I will talk to you next time. Hope you have a continued wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you decided to tune in and watch this video. Have a good one.